everyone, welcome back to another Monday makeup lesson. Today we're on chapter 5 of my book and this is the highlighting and contouring chapter. And I've actually done another video on how to cream contour and highlight, but today we're going to focus on powders. So grab your tools and let's get started. So unlike last week when we started off with a bare face, this time I have a full face of makeup on. I've moisturized, primed, applied concealer, and I actually used a powder foundation today. So this is for anyone who loves using powder foundations. You guys can't use this routine, but you can use this one because mixing the two together and putting creams on top of powders actually forms like a paste and it won't blend. So if you're a big fan of powder foundation, this is a routine for you. So I'm going to start off with highlighting. I'm going to grab a powder that's a few shades lighter than my skin. As you guys can see, I am so pale. I actually use a white powder. Yeah. I'm going to use a small blending brush for this and start just underneath my eyes. There's two ways that you can apply your powder underneath your eyes. You can apply it outwards and this will broaden your face, or you can apply it down and this will lengthen your face and also slim it off. So what I like to do is just apply it straight underneath my eyes and then bring it down the length of the nose, but keep it in this area here. So just this little area from eye to eye and then down to the edge of the nose. If you really want to broaden your face, you guys are going to go right the way across to the temples and then join it up on the edge of the nose. So you're going down and up towards the temples and in this very large triangle. And I just use a blending brush and just really buff that into the skin. I also like to just do the edge of my nose as well. And what this does is blend your nose and your cheeks together, and it actually makes your nose look a little bit thinner, but that's just an extra step. Now for our forehead, what I like to do is go for the center of the forehead, and then I also want to do the arch of the brows. So this is the area that we want to highlight. But if you want to lengthen your forehead, you're going to bring that up past the center point right up to the top. If you want to broaden it, you're going to bring it all the way out to just where the arch are. And then you want to really fill in this entire area, and that will really broaden the forehead and highlight it even more. Now moving on to the nose, you want to do a really thin line if you want to create a very straight, thinner nose. If you want to broaden your nose, make this pretty much the same length as your nose, and this will broaden it. But for the most part, people like to thin off their nose. So I'm using a smaller brush, and I'm just going to go down the center of my nose. Keep the line as straight as possible. If you want to shorten your nose, bring this line up a little bit further. So stop it right here and this will shorten your nose. To lengthen it, bring it down even lower. So you can just adjust this depending on how you want your nose to look. And you can also do the top of the lip. So start in the center and then just blend it outwards. Now we do the chin the same way as we did the forehead. If we want to lengthen it, we're just going to go down the center. If we want to broaden it, we're going to bring it out a little bit further. So it's totally up to yourself. For some people, just applying a little bit on the tip of the chin will be all you need to do, and this is what I tend to just do. And the final step in highlighting is to go right on the jawline. So what I like to do is just go underneath where the hollow is, and I actually apply a lot here, and I'm going to leave it until we finish our contouring. And what this is going to do is to prevent our contour from coming down too low, and it's going to keep it nice and sharp as well. So for contouring, I use two different shades. I use Taupe Blush by NYX, and I also mix it up with a little bit of this bronzer by Blankcanvascosmetics. I find the combination of these two works perfectly for my skin tone. I've switched to a slightly larger brush as well because we're contouring, we're covering a bigger area of the face and we really want to softly blend this out. So I'm using a slightly larger brush. We're going to start off with the forehead this time. So we're going to go on the other side of our arch, work up towards the hairline and around the forehead. Now this works for anyone who wants to create a shorter and narrow forehead. If you want to broaden it, do not contour at all. And if you want to lengthen it, don't contour the top. They're the only two differences that you would make. If you are using Taupe blush, keep it more towards the hairline and then this shade into the center of the face. That way you get a nice balance of kind of a fading effect. So it actually works out even better. For the nose, I'm going to use that same brush that we used for the center, but I've loaded it up with the two shades. And you're going to go as close to that highlighted shade as possible. If you want to broaden your nose, you might want to skip this step altogether. I also like to use just a little bit under the lip, and this will create a shadow almost like you have massive lips, like they're so big they have a shadow. Now for the big mama of all brushes. This is the best brush in the world for contouring. Go from the top of the ear to the corner of the mouth, place it in there. You can also use that highlighted shade as your guide. Place it in there, give it a wiggle to blend out some of the product, and then start to sweep it upwards. And this is just amazing. You can also bring your contour down your jawline and underneath your chin as well if you want to disguise like a double chin or a triple chin or a quadruple chin. Whatever it might be, you can blend it downwards, but because I'm wearing a polo neck, I'm not going to do that. But what I am going to do is to knock off this powder because we no longer need it. Finish off with your highlighter and your blush, and there you go. And that's how to powder, contour, and highlight. I hope you guys enjoy it. Definitely check out last week's video if you want to see how to cream, contour, and highlight. And I will see you guys on Friday. Bye guys. Side of the arch. So mark in on the other side and then slowly bring it up towards the hairline. And I'm also